Good day. I am Dori Tunstall, Associate Dean of Learning and Teaching at Swinburne University of Technology in the Faculty of Design, and I am the jury captain of the Design Education category for the Core 77 Design Awards. I am here in cold and So the judging process for us was really fraught with a lot of consideration of what should be the criteria of evaluation, especially as this is the first time that a major design award has recognized design education as an important category. So we decided there were three major things or categories that were important to us. The first was the design education framework. The second was two things. One, did the submissions show a clear pedagogical philosophy? That, did they mention any of the current theories about education and learning? And then did it have a clear design philosophy in terms of who's the driver of the brief, either the student or a client? What tools are used? Are they cultivating computer tools, high-tech tools, or hand skills? And whether or not the outcomes were important as the design process or what we call really cool design artifacts. So these were the things that we were looking for in terms of design education framework, and the well-placed submissions actually had both. In terms of curriculum, program, or project content, we were focused on to what extent did the submissions show that it meant to improve students' conceptualization skills in terms of thinking, their technical implementation skills in terms of making, and their communication skills, whether or not they actually could communicate what it is that they've thought about or they've made. And what was also important for us is that it had a sense of imparting cultural awareness as well as environmental responsibility. And as a jury, we were excited to see that the number of submissions, and it probably was 90% of them, had a clear focus on providing students with either cultural awareness or taking very seriously environmental awareness and themes of sustainability. So this means that we've almost reached a tipping point in terms of these being considered core design education values as well as design values. And then in terms of demonstrable outcomes, again, we focused on to what extent there was evidence provided that a curriculum, program, or project had been improving students' learning objectives, actually improved either the process or the overall learning and teaching in an institution, or provided potential benefit to a client or a community. And this had actually significant impact on the evaluation of many of the curriculum models that were submitted to us, as many of them had not been implemented yet and thus not could provide demonstrable outcomes. So the jury suggests that many of those that submitted curriculum models resubmit once they've actually implemented their programs and can demonstrate that these beautiful, beautiful curriculum models can actually do what they say that they're intending to do. So looking at design education framework, content, and outcomes, we came up with a list of notable entries, as well as the runner-up and drumroll, the final winner of the Core 77 Design Award in the Design Education Initiatives category. So what was our first notables? The first one was Design for America by Design for America, located in Evansville, Illinois, in the U.S. The client for this was the Mccormick School of Engineering at Northwestern University, and is described as a nationwide initiative that supports a network of student-run design studios based in college campuses throughout the U.S. These initiatives provide frameworks for students from all majors to gain experience, skills, and the confidence necessary to lead and innovate in local and social impact design projects. We found Design for America notable because it was a well thought out program that engages interdisciplinary college youth to bring their ideals into meaningful, impactful outcomes outside of academic timeframes. And the ambitiousness of the name Design for America indicates the scale of impact that this potential model will have once it's spread beyond its Northwestern University incubator. So again, we're looking for really great things from Design for America and want to sort of note its potential as a major change agent in the design landscape in the U.S. The second notable was the Tinkering Studio by the Exploratorium, located in San Francisco, California, in the U.S. The Tinkering Studio is described as a public space at the Exploratorium to support the creative ideas of visitors, collaborators, and staff. It is a place to explore science, design, and art in meaningful ways based on personal ideas, questions, and explorations, allowing everyone to build a new understanding of the world. We, the jury, found this a notable category for its implementation of a true constructionist design education philosophy. It provides a rich design experience of the entire design process to a cross-section of the population that normally would not have the opportunity to engage in the design process. While the project is an extension of the kinds of public interactivity that the Exploratorium offers, we look forward to seeing how this model of engagement, particularly with the design process, and can actually interface with schools. And this is why we think it's notable that, again, it's a wonderful kind of constructionist engagement in design learning that could be applied to many different educational contexts. Our third notable was Seeing Voices Inside BT Archives by Professor Tiltiggs, located in London, UK. The client was BT Heritage Masters of Design Writing Criticism Program in London College of Communication, University of Arts, London. It's described as a unique collaboration between BT Heritage staff and students from the Masters of Design Writing Criticism at the London College of Communication in the use of specialist archives as an integrated teaching method for design writing and criticism. Students select an object from the communications archive to research and interpret, resulting in both a publication as well as an exhibition. We, the jury, were really inspired by how Seeing Voices project used design artifacts to encourage student engagement with archives. It is something that we like to see more of in design education in terms of actually using the tangibility of design and the kind of engagement that people have with holding something, seeing something, smelling it, as a way to engage in academic tasks of writing, criticism, in ways that, again, sort of uses design's sexiness to help develop new design scholarship and understanding. Our fourth notable was Tools for Schools by Ari Leiden Bernhardt Design, the School of Columbia University, located in New York. New York. Sorry. The Tools for Schools is described as an initiative to teach 8th grade students the value of design as a problem-solving tool at the School of Columbia University. The students were immersed in an entire design process from research to ideation to 3D modeling and ultimately to launch. The jury, we really loved how Tools for Schools introduced primary students to the value of design process for problem solving in the educational environment. And if you look at the outcomes of what the students produce, you'll be amazed by the quality of the designs that were developed, launched, and hopefully actually used in the school environment. So this is really notable for us in terms of, again, engaging really young people in the design process and in a way that actually has a significant impact on their own learning environment. So those were our 4 notables, and so now we turn to who is our runner-up. So the runner-up was Project H by Project H Design, located in Windsor, North Carolina in the United States. It's a pro bono project on behalf of Bertie County School Township school district in the town of Windsor. So Studio H describes itself as a build, design public high school curriculum based in rural Bertie County, North Carolina. Over a course of a year, students apply core subject learning and design methodologies to research, prototype, refine, and build one contextually responsive and socially transformative piece of architecture for local community benefit. We, the jury, were fascinated and humbled by Studio H's impact in terms of its focus of combining, quote, shop class with creative problem solving and design thinking, unquote, especially as this is in service to build projects for community benefit. We were struck in particular by how this design engagement with high school students could expand higher education and opportunities as well as possibilities for students. The process of information gathering, analysis, prioritization, consensus building that it takes to build, let's say, for example, a neighborhood chicken coop are the same skills required in higher education. So the idea of, again, to take this design process, the design thinking process, and the design making process to build sort of academic schools that actually will convince perhaps students who may not think that they would want to go to higher education, that they actually have the skills and confidence to do so. It's something that made this a really standout project for the jury. But we have a winner. And the winner is Sticks and Stones by Mark Biddle, Audra Bach Coleman, and Ann McDonald, located in Utah, Maryland, Massachusetts, the United States. So the client for this project, Sticks and Stones, is actually quite global. Bilkent University in Turkey, Northeastern University in Boston, Shandong University of Art and Design in China, Universität der Kunst in Berlin, University of Maryland in the U.S., Weber State University in Utah, and the Design Transfer Gallery in Berlin, Germany. And Sticks and Stones describes itself as a collaborative project. It gathers graphic design students from diverse geographical locations to explore their similarities and differences, to examine their perceptions and misconceptions of the other, and to gather greater understanding of their responsibilities of creators of visual messages. So, first of all, Sticks and Stones met every single of our evaluation criteria in terms of having a clear pedagogical and design philosophy, content that built up students' conceptual thinking skills, making and communication skills, as well as building social and environmental awareness. And it could clearly demonstrate its outcomes for students as well as participating communities. What pushed Sticks and Stones to the top of our list was how it promoted cultural awareness by working with cultural diversity, as opposed to just working on or about cultural diversity. And the fact that this collaboration is in terms of listening and talking and not just being in the same room. So for the judges, Sticks and Stones hit a chord in the current global climate of racial and cultural tension while helping graphic design avoid most of its really bad habits of stereotyping. Its philosophy of social democracy has the potential to foster transformation through the promotion of empathy, mutual understanding, and social justice. So this is the reason why Sticks and Stones came to the top of our list as the winner of the Design Education Initiatives category. And again, our discussions around this is that, this was the project that made us feel good. It made us really feel good, and the idea of being able to sort of promote the possibilities of this model and the expansion of this model for design engagement in an educational setting as well as educational content is, again, why it's the top of our list in terms of this Core 77 Design Awards. So those are the winners, runner-ups, and notables. Again, I'd like to thank all of those who submitted entries to the category. And thank you for tuning in. And from Melbourne, Australia, this is Dori Tunstall of the Design Education Initiative jury team. I'm signing off. So good day.